You know what? I think we're done. If anyone asks what I taught you, repeat the 3 words on the chalkboard. Just say
now to crack!
Growing up in the 80s or 90s, if you turned on your TV even for a second, there was 100% chance that you would see a DARE public service announcement. Founded in 1983, Drug Abuse Resistance Education, aka DARE, was a byproduct of Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign and America's war on drugs. In essence, DARE was the youth-directed arm of these campaigns, and at its peak in the early 90s, DARE was implemented in schools all over America and cost taxpayers an estimated $600 million to $750 million a year. Immensely popular and touted by politicians, parents, and school officials, DARE was considered by many to be a hallmark of public education. With memorable commercials, celebrity endorsements, billboards, posters, and ads literally everywhere, the anti-drug campaign was seen as the crowning achievement in keeping America's youth off of drugs. There was just one small, tiny little problem with DARE. It did not work. Like, at all.
Various studies have shown that in the 10 years of the implementation of DARE, the program failed to significantly reduce drug use among participants. With its over-the-top PSAs, awkward slogans, and cheesy mascots, DARE, though as high profile as it was, basically tanked. And not only did it tank, it got met with such criticism and derision that its legacy is basically that of a bad joke. So how did a program like DARE, whose main intention was to get kids not to take drugs, an intention everyone could get behind and agree on, fail so badly and have almost zero effect on helping curb the drug crisis in America? Let's find out.
DARE was founded in Los Angeles in 1983 as a joint initiative between then LAPD chief, the infamous Daryl Gates, and the Los Angeles Unified School District as a strategy for the war on drugs in America. The program, which still exists albeit in a different form today, pairs students with local police officials in an effort to reduce drug use, gang membership, and violence. Students learned about the dangers of substance abuse and were required to take a pledge to stay away from drugs and gangs. Geared toward children as a sort of early prevention against drug abuse, DARE had a mascot, Darren the Lion, remember him, posters bordering on propaganda, and just a slew of anti-drug slogans that were cheesy at best then and downright cringy now, with such catchphrases as, "Dare to keep kids off drugs. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Up with hope, down with dope. Get high on life, not on drugs. I'm too good for drugs. Hugs, not drugs. And our personal favorite, if you know Jack, you won't smoke crack." And of course, DARE had their legendary anti-drug PSAs, and if you were a kid at that time, you saw them on your TV screen ad nauseum. They were basically a staple of your Saturday morning TV viewing schedule. They were either over the top in a scared straight kind of way, or ridiculously pandering in a "I'm a cool mom" kind of way. Whether they worked or not is debatable, but one thing is for sure, they were memorable. A big part of the DARE campaign was the DARE workshops, where policemen would go into classrooms from kindergarten through grade 12 with the aim of teaching school kids to reject drug use and violent gang culture. According to DARE at the time, the program was delivered in 75% of schools and had been rolled out over across 43 countries. DARE claimed the program was a resounding success as it quote-unquote led to rapid growth and expansion.
But just because everyone knew about DARE and everyone knew what it was about, didn't mean that DARE was the success everyone involved claimed it to be. The American Psychological Association ran a study of 1,000 individuals in the early 20s who participated in DARE in the 6th grade. The study found no measurable positive outcomes regarding drug use, attitudes towards drugs, or self-esteem. Another study carried out by the University of Illinois concluded that the DARE program was counterproductive, with students who participated in the program more likely to use drugs. So why did the DARE program fail so hard? The answer can be attributed to 3 main reasons.
Number 1. Stoking even more hysteria. In the 1980s, the war on drugs hysteria was rampant throughout America, with paranoid media coverage and a policy of mass incarceration for drug-related offenses only exacerbating matters. In this environment, it didn't help that DARE was introduced to school-aged children by police officers rather than substance abuse prevention specialists. As such, the curriculum tended to focus on punitive consequences versus rehabilitative education. With the police's zero-tolerance mantra, some experts claim that the presence of uniformed armed police in schools actually made the program more adversarial than educational, leading to even more hysteria. Number 2. a terrible curriculum. The DARE program involved 45-minute lectures that occurred weekly for a few months. Overall, the curriculum explained the risks of drug use and offered tips on how to refuse them. The program also attempted to foster a better image of the police, which was very little to do with preventing children from taking drugs. The program even went so far as to encourage students to anonymously report back on any drugs they encountered at home or school via letterbox in the classroom, in effect telling kids to be spies for the police force. It also contributed to the stigma that people who use drugs are labeled as bad, and the stigma towards those people who are addicted to drugs as being immoral. In addition, DARE began creating literature for parents, such as the book Keeping Kids Drug-Free. With its 2,000-word glossary of slang terms and questionnaires designed to gauge a child's stress level, the book was out of touch at best and an attempt to scare parents at worst. For example, if your child answered yes to "did something exciting happen," or if they, quote, "tried hard to win a game" in the questionnaire, then parents should be wary of possible drug use. Huh? Many critics lambasted the book as borderline fraudulent. Number 3. A facade of success. Deathly afraid of having the DARE program be seen as anything less than a triumph, the politicians behind DARE presented a facade of success for years. Policymakers and politicians, as well as stakeholders who profited from selling DARE's curriculum, were fast to dismiss questions of the DARE program's efficiency. From TV ads to bumper stickers to large-scale events, they touted the success of the program, refusing to make any changes or adjustments to it which would have actually made the program more effective. The denial of DARE being ineffective was so powerful that the program actually butted heads with its own government. The Department of Justice, which gave federal grants to DARE, ordered a large-scale report to be conducted by the Research Triangle Institute, the most prestigious research organization of its kind. After analyzing large amounts of metadata that showed DARE simply did not work, DARE actually resorted to legal action in an attempt to squelch the report. DARE was that reluctant to incorporate data to adapt its curriculum. It was that afraid to be seen as anything less than a home run. Since police officials first taught the DARE program over 30 years ago, the American Psychological Association, the Office of the Surgeon General, and the Government Accountability Office all have critiqued the organization's tactics and all have discredited the effectiveness of the program. And in 2001, the then Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. David Satcher, placed the DARE program in the category of ineffective primary prevention programs.
But perhaps the failed legacy of DARE can best be summed up by Marcia Rosenbaum, head of the West Coast office of the Lynn Smith Center, a drug policy reform organization, who told the Village Voice in 1999, quote, "In DARE's worldview, Marlboro Light cigarettes, Bacardi rum, and a drag from a joint are all equally dangerous. For that matter, so is snorting a few lines of cocaine. DARE isn't really education, it's indoctrination."